Hello, accountability buddies. I'm Les, and this is another episode of Less is More Healthy. And I'm coming to you from the car on my way home instead of on my way to work. Today was my first day back to work after a little over a week long vacation. Man, I could have used another week off if I'm totally honest. That being said, I did have a good day at work, and I wanted to talk about a conversation I had while I was on vacation. So I was out on this ride, and it was one of my 20-mile rides. And I stopped at this scenic overpass overlook thing in my city. We've got these green spaces, we've got these public ways, and it just is like a bench where you can look out over the ocean. I love these things. And a lot of other people do too. That's where I was trying to record my episodes last time, and I just kept getting interrupted. But I had this conversation with this woman, and she basically asked me how I was getting healthier and fitter, and how I was focusing on fitness over weight loss, and how I got started riding the bike. So I thought that might be a multi-part series of episodes here, but I thought I'd get started with the diet portion. So I got started with the diet portion almost 3 years ago. So my workplace got a grant to give each and every one of us at the workplace $500. We could use that $500 for anything health and wellness related. And I chose to spend that $500 on a meal plan system. And the meal system was basically, I wanted to relearn portion control because I like eating. You don't get big, you don't get overweight if you don't like eating. And also perhaps have an unhealthy relationship with food. We're not going to go there right now. I like eating. I have big, typical American portions. And I really had to relearn portion sizes and all of that fun stuff. So I found this healthy meal service that did frozen meals delivered once a week, or every other week, and then you can just throw them in your freezer. Or like I would do is I'd throw them in a cooler along with an ice pack, bring them to work, throw them in the work freezer until it was time to eat lunch. And I would also I had some for dinner as well. Um, but the cool thing about it was that it showed me what was an appropriate portion of greens, what's an appropriate portion of rice cauliflower, what's an appropriate portion of a protein, so on and so forth. What is an actual meal portion versus trying to figure it out myself? And that really made a big difference in terms of like what I was eating, how I was eating it. And um, yeah, that made a huge difference in my ability to start altering my diet on my own. Because when I'd been meal prepping, I was putting together like, I didn't realize that like 2 and 3 meals worth of food, way overdoing it on protein, obviously overdoing it on carbs, and so on and so forth. So that was the first thing I did. And then I started with the walking. And the walking started out with just parking as far away from work as I could, and then walking into work from there. It also had a fair amount of just walking around the block after work and at home. Like, that was a big portion of my starting to walk. And then from there, I started walking 2 blocks away from home. I started walking a loop from the parking lot at work to the furthest away cafe. Um, and then I did that for a few weeks. I did each thing for like a week or 2 weeks. And then I expanded out and I did more walking. for a couple more weeks. Then I expanded out again and I walked that for a week. Then I expanded out again. I got to the point where every day before work I was walking at least a mile. And I also got to the point where that was actually pretty comfortable. My speed got faster as the more I walked, the more comfortable I got, the better I felt. So, all of those things, like, I was doing that first. And so, for a year, I just walked. And then I started hiking and doing more miles. I think the longest I walked was like 5 miles. And, I was doing hikes on the weekend. I was going places before work to go for a hike. And, it was just really nice. Um, and that's when there was this point as I was walking where I realized I would like to see more things. I don't want to walk the same loop again and again and again, which is what I had been doing. Basically, I started riding my bike because I got bored with the distance I was able to cover in a reasonable amount of time on my feet. And that led to the bike, and I had a bike in the garage and I started riding that, and I realized I wanted to fix up a 90s mountain bike and ride that, and I rode the shit out of it last year. I did almost 700 miles on it, and it all felt really good. Um, and then this year, the Ozark Trail comes along, and I realized, like, if I had a cross between a mountain bike and a road bike, I could do more. And I was at the point with the old Trek where I was like, hey, I really want to modify this, or I would like to have disc brakes. So honestly, the Ozark Trail came out at the just the right time, at the exact right amount of money for me to purchase it. It just like the perfect thing at the perfect moment for me, because really I was outgrowing the Kona in terms of like speed and efficiency, what I was really looking for from that bike. I was really looking for something that was a gravel bike, something that kind of bridged the gap between the road and a mountain bike. Because, I grew up riding mountain bikes, really enjoy them. But anyway, yeah, that's how I got to like being able to ride 43 miles. Hopefully, I'll hit that century this year. I'm really determined to do it, and I'm feeling really good, and I think I can do it. But it's all about, for me, incremental gains in terms of like doing an extra 5 miles, sometimes doing it when I'm not feeling like it, doing it, getting out onto the bike, whether it feels good or not, and also knowing I'm gonna enjoy it. And that's that's really been, I think, the turning point for me, is that I really enjoy the bike. I really enjoy the effects of the bike, and I want to do it more. And that's the difference with the walking. I think if I had easier access to places that had adequate parking for hiking, I might have ended up wanting to do more hiking than cycling, or I would have wanted to continue that more than I have ended up doing it. Because I do definitely enjoy hiking, but I enjoy cycling a whole lot more. Um, but yeah, that's how I got to this point of enjoyment and wanting to do more miles on my bike, wanting to be on my bike all the time. Um, it's kind of an obsession, and everyone warned me that was going to be the result of of buying that used 90s mountain bike. Not that I wasn't obsessed with my bike in college and high school and junior high, because I definitely was. Um, but it's definitely gotten way more intense. I definitely really enjoy cycling in a way that I really didn't expect to. So, yeah, I guess if I had any advice for anyone starting off on this type 2 journey, it would be to start off small, ride around the block if that's all you can do. Walk around your block if that's all you can do, because for me, it was really about starting super small and starting small enough that it didn't feel like I was doing anything at all, but also enjoying that time out of the house more than I was enjoying the time in the house. Yeah, start small. That's all you can do, really, is like just get in that first step, that first walk around the block, or that first longer ride to work. And I don't know, like you might end up like me and just love it. Anyway, with that, thanks for being here. I really appreciate all of the new subscribers. Thanks for hitting that subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell icon and all that. I know that some of this stuff is not going to be for everyone. And if you got here from the Ozark Trail video, welcome. This is the kind of stuff I do on this channel. I talk about type 2 diabetes and how I got into it and the things that I do. I only talk about what I do. I don't know what you should do. Maybe you'll find it helpful. Maybe it'll help hold you accountable. Maybe it won't. Maybe you think I'm full of crap. That's okay too. Anyway, thanks for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye.